Immigrants on the whole create...
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Illegal immigrants are causing tremendous crime. Tremendous.
The Pew Research says that there are
You use Twitter.
Right.
Do you see a rise in hate speech? Like, I don't.
Personally, my For You, I would see I get more of that kind of content, yeah.
Can you name one example?
I honestly don't use... honestly, I
You
don't...
can't name a single example.
Ever seen a woke reporter squirm when asked for facts? It's like watching a fish out of water, flapping around trying to find an excuse. These so-called journalists love to throw out big claims, but when someone asks for proof, suddenly they're all tongue-tied. In this video, we're gonna show you some of the most epic takedowns of woke reporters. You'll see them get absolutely demolished when they can't back up their BS.
Well, hang on a second. You said you've seen more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
Well, then how did you see the hateful content?
Why? Because I don't actually use that for you. Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen the For You hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
It's time to expose these fake news peddlers for what they really are. So get this, some genius reporter thought it'd be smart to go after a Danish movie for not being diverse enough. Like, seriously? We're talking about Denmark here, not freaking Hollywood. Let's break it down. This Danish film crew's just doing their thing, making a movie about their own country. Shocking, right? But no, that's not good enough for Miss Woke Reporter. She's gotta make it a problem. Where are all the people who don't look Danish in this Danish movie?
It's false.
No. As I already said, I don't use that feed. But
Well, then how would you know?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time. Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying...
I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet, and yet you claimed that the hateful content was high. That's...
Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's quite literally just insane. He comes out with an outrageous statement, but has nothing to back it up with. That's not how it works, but...
Give me a break. You know what's funny? These same people never seem to have a problem when it's the other way around. Like, where are all the complaints about not enough white dudes in Wakanda? It's like they can't wrap their heads around the fact that different places have different people. Mind-blowing, I know. But here's the kicker. The filmmaker wasn't having any of it. He shut that nonsense down real quick. And I'm talking epic shutdown here. He straight up told them, of course it won't be diverse. It's a Nordic movie. Are we gonna have white dudes and gingers walking around in African movies as well? Boom, mic drop. And you know what? The dude's got a point. Denmark's like 86% Danish people. That's just facts. So why the hell would you expect their movies to look like some woke diversity checklist? It's like these reporters have never left their bubble. They think every place should look like their imaginary perfect world. But here's the real kicker. These same woke warriors never seem to have a problem when it's movies from other countries. You ever hear them complaining about not enough diversity in Japanese or Korean films? Nah, didn't think so. It's only a problem when it's white people making movies about white people. Make it make sense.
I'm from Denmark, and it's a pleasure to be here. So you're a little bit into it. This is a cast and Danish production, which is entirely Nordic. It therefore has some lack of diversity, say, as also new rules are implied in Hollywood.
What are you on to?
Sorry, but
From the get-go.
Why are these woke reporters so clueless about real life? Because they're too busy trying to find problems where there aren't any. They're so desperate to be offended, they'll attack a Danish movie for being, wait for it, too Danish. It'd be funny if it wasn't so damn And you know what's the worst part? These are supposed to be journalists, you know? The people who are meant to tell us what's really going on in the world, but instead they're out here making up problems and ignoring reality. It's no wonder nobody trusts the media anymore.
Tens of
Go ahead, please.
I wanted to ask about payroll tax. Mr. President, after 3.5 years, have you regretted all the lying you've done to the American people?
What?
All the lying, all the dishonesties.
And who is that?
You have done.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals. You've attacked journalists, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid.
Speaking of finding problems, wait till you hear what happened when one of these geniuses tried to talk about Twitter. Alright, picture this. Some hotshot reporter thinks they're gonna take on Elon Musk about Twitter. Bold move, right? This genius starts running their mouth about how there's all this hateful content on Twitter now. Oh really? Do tell. So Elon, being Elon, asked for just one example, just one little tweet to back up this big claim. Should be easy, right? Wrong. Our intrepid reporter suddenly can't seem to remember a single hateful tweet. Not one. Zip. Nada. It's like,
First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network.
You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. Why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
like watching a car crash in slow motion. The reporter's scrambling, trying to backtrack, but it's too late. Elon's not letting up. He keeps pushing. Come on, just one example. You said there were so many. And you know what this genius reporter says? Get this. I don't actually use that for you. I haven't used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Are you kidding me? This clown's been running their mouth about all this hateful content, but they haven't even been on Twitter for almost a month. You can't make this stuff up. Elon's not having any of it. He calls out the reporter right there on the spot. You can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet, and yet you claim that the hateful content was high. That's a false statement. Boom, mic drop. This is the problem with these so-called journalists. They're so busy trying to push their agenda that they don't even bother with facts anymore. They just throw out these big claims, thinking no one's gonna call them out on it. Well, guess what? Elon did, and it was beautiful. But here's the thing, this isn't just about one clueless reporter, it's a whole trend. These media types love to talk about how bad social media is, how it's full of hate and misinformation. But when you ask them for proof, crickets. Sure, Twitter's changed since Elon took over. He's all about free speech, and that's got some people's panties in a bunch. They're crying about hate speech and misinformation, but where's the proof? Where are the numbers? The truth is, nobody really knows if there's more hate speech on Twitter now or not. These reporters are just pulling stuff out of thin air, hoping no one will question them. Well, guess what? We're questioning them, and they're coming up empty. So next time you hear some talking head going on about how terrible Twitter is, remember this. They probably haven't even been on the platform in weeks. They're just repeating what they've heard from other clueless experts. It's all a big game of telephone, and the truth is getting lost in the shuffle. So there you have it, folks. These so-called journalists are about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. They're out here making wild claims, but when you ask for proof, they've got nothing. Zip, nada. It's like they're playing make-believe, but with the news. You know why this is happening? Because these clowns care more about getting clicks than telling the truth. They're all about that sensational headline, facts be damned. And guess what? It's killing their credibility. People are catching on to their BS. Next time you see some woke reporter spouting off, remember this video. They're probably just as full of it as these jokers we've seen today. Don't let them pull the wool over your eyes. Question everything, especially when it comes from the media, because if you don't, you're just letting them get away with their little game of pretend journalism.